Okay, so this is the last part we're going to be tackling. Lecture questions. It's hard to work this thing. Okay. Does it want to go any bigger? So come over down as we get. Okay, so the lecture questions, learning objectives. So again, this will be on the okay, so this is just the learning objectives. Just want to go back and make sure you got those all set. All right, so let's kind of go through these. So one of these questions will be on your 916. If I got that right, 916. 916, yes, 916 Wednesday quiz. When you come in first thing on Wednesday, you'll get a quiz. You'll have one of these questions along with all the anatomy, the shoulder, and the scapula, I believe. Again, go back to Canvas. It will tell you exactly on Canvas that anatomy you need to know, and then which lecture questions. I believe it's these for 916. Okay, so which ones are the good guy muscles of the shoulder? They open up the space. External rotators do that. Shoulder extension does that. Infraspinatus teres minor, a couple of good guy muscles. There's some other ones as well. Those are the big ones. Posterior deltoid extending the shoulder. What are some of the bad guy muscles of the shoulder? Big bad guy is subscapularis. There's a tight, shortened pectoralis minor is another really common bad guy one. Well, how are shoulder bursitis? I think you'd be okay with those if you said, let's go back to one. Good guy muscles, you said infraspinatus teres minor. Those two are really good guys. And I would say, let's make it three. Teres minor, infraspinatus, and the rhomboids. That'll be a good answer for that one. For number two, what are bad guy muscles? I would say subscapularis, pectoralis minor. Those are your two bad guys. How are shoulder bursitis, rotator tears, subacromial impingement, and bicep tendinitis similar? They're all under that cluster of shoulder impingement syndrome. Shoulder impingement syndrome kind of leads to these different kinds of problems. What are the common characteristics within that? Space and flow issues. How are they all similar? You could just say space and flow issues. What is one exercise to treat TOS, subacromial impingement, and rotator cuff tear? TOS, a good one would be, let's say, diaphragmatic breathing, to reduce the load in the scalenes. Subacromial impingement, I would say shoulder extension, open up the space. And rotator cuff tear irritation, I would say Rose scapular retraction, bubble lumps in space. There's one test for subacromial impingement, excuse me, and TOS. For subacromial impingement, I would think the NIRS test would be really good. For TOS, I would do the RUSE. There's one test for irritation of the following: supraspinatus. That's for abduction. I would think the full and empty can test would be a good one. Subscapularis. That's for internal rotation. The Gerber lift-off, G-E-R-B-E-R, they're all right in the treatment box. Gerber lift-off test. And then for the infraspinatus and teres minor, the infraspinatus test, which is basically just manual muscle testing of the infraspinatus. How do you test for bicep tendinitis? That's the SPEEDS test. That is that. Yeah, you can't see this too good because it's kind of awkward, but this is kind of what you have to know for next week. All the scapula and shoulder motions, and then when you do your student-led, if you're chosen to go through the screening, which we've been doing in lab, all these different things, you'll be great on hitting. You have to know the anatomy of the scapula and the shoulder, and then just do the range of motion, just the motion to the elbow, wrist, thumb, digits, all that. It's a lot. You need to know it. Keep going back to that list in Canvas. Just bring this down so you can see that there's more down there. if you have questions. And then this lastly, again, hard to see this. This is the 9-9 quiz that is coming up this week. This week being 9-9, Wednesday 9-9. That week 2 quiz, first quiz, the scapular motions and the muscles, and then the week 1, not this week, but the week 1 lecture questions, and your student-led demonstration, which is the whole screening. Just need to know, add to that the scapular anatomy, the screening with the scapular motions and anatomy, which I've been practicing in lab. Again, let me know, email, whatever, if you have questions.